Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk to you about His Dark Material Season 3, Episode 1. So this dropped last night, and they say there are new episodes every Monday. And so there are two out right now. And for the most part in this episode, we get a little bit more information and a little bit more world hopping and stuff. So with this, it has a lot of Lord Asriel. He is in a weird flying machine. It doesn't look like anything from his world. It looks like something from a completely different other dimension. And him and his demon are like flying in it until it crash lands. And so when they're there on the ground, they start to see that there are drones after them or some type of like bad people, whatever. So they make their way to that of a prison and they break this one man out, shooting their way through and stuff. And I can't remember the man's name, but he's a very large man and they are in a different dimension. And so he tells this man desperately trying to recruit this man and everything to join his army. It does get a little confusing here and there about exactly as to who they're gonna fight. I know they have to fight the authority, the magisterium, stuff like that, but it gets a little confusing because there's a story in the beginning of the episode that talks about angels and stuff. And I think they say either they was the authority or somebody else, and then something happened and they fell or something like that. And so that gets a little confusing. Because like I said before, I'm still new to all this and, it's just like, whoo. And so, like, he's desperately trying his best to, like, recruit this man. But the man said, he has two kids and his one daughter is just, like, not necessarily petrified, but she's just in a, like, zombish kind of state, a comatose kind of state. And she's like in shock type thing. And he said he's seen something like this before. He said on his world, because in this world there are no demons. And so he said a demon is like your soul, it's your companion, and when you're ripped from it, you're left in this like bewildered, like type state and everything, this comatose type state. So something has separated her from like her soul or something like that. Now one thing that's odd is that when these people in the other dimension see like a talking animal, they don't freak out. And I don't know why. That would be one of the most shocking things ever if you saw like a talking animal, especially that of a snow leopard and stuff, And so like the other man saw like have to stay here, and I think he said he has to stop the target. I think that's their name. They're like the magisterium in his world and stuff. And so there are drones after them from his world, and he's all like, I can't leave my people. And he's all like, just let me show you and everything. So he uses his device to open up another like, spaghetti like rift portal in like the sky. And he's all like, gather your army because we're going on a trip. Now he's already been recruiting people. He recruited, that came with him, these teeny tiny little fairy looking people and stuff. And, he's already recruited like the angels and stuff like that because he is gearing up for a battle. And this is the most we've ever seen him in the entire series. His hair is a lot longer. It's a lot grayer. I'm not sure how much time has passed. And so when we get to Laura, she is in a dreamlike state. It's like this weird desert type place she's in, and the winds are blowing and she can hear like voices, and she hears Roger's voice. And so she's just screaming out to Roger like, where is he? Because she can still hear his voice. And then we see Roger with a group of people. Roger has gotten taller and his voice has gotten deeper. I completely forgot that this show came out a few years back. I think in 2018, I think. And they were just kids at that time, and now they're like teenagers close to adults and stuff. or are they young teenagers and now they're close to adult age? I forget which one. She said she auditioned when she was really young. 'Cause she's gotten slightly taller and he's gotten slightly taller as well. And it's just weird how they've gotten so much older now. Like when you see Will, that dude has grown since season 1 and season 2. And so it makes you wonder how long they've been it's been since like season 2. And so when we do see her in the real world and stuff, we see her asleep for the most of the duration of the episode because her mom, Marissa, is drugging her. And Marissa feels like she's protecting her and this and that. Well, as for Marissa, she befriends a little girl who is deaf. And she tells the girl, like, do you believe in magic and all this other stuff? Now, the girl does not have a demon. They must be in another, like, dimension. But I could have sworn they was in the world with demons and stuff. So, I don't know. But anyway, she keeps drugging her daughter, and Pan, he's weak and telling like Marissa, let him go there. Like, we don't want to be your prisoner and stuff like that. And when Laura finally does wake up, when Marissa is asleep, Pan convinces Laura to like escape, but she's too drugged and too tired and can barely move and stuff. And the monkey actually lets her escape and everything. That's kind of like weird. Maybe because, the monkey just wants to be with Marissa, and Marissa wants nothing to do with him because Marissa hates demons and stuff. Well, Marissa, when she goes outside with the drugs and stuff, the monkey does help her find Laura. And so she re-drugs her and everything. And when she does that, the little deaf girl can see all this happening and realizes Marissa isn't as nice as she thought. Now, as for Will is very desperately looking for Laura. The bond between those two is stronger than ever, and he feels terrible he wasn't there to help her before she got kidnapped. And he has no idea where she's at or who has her. So he is just like using his knife, popping through portals and everything like that, looking for her. And so I think he's even going to like different dimensions, maybe. And I know he's in one land where he talks to a lady and she has a demon. So maybe he's in another dimension, or maybe he's in Laura's world. But anyway, he is being followed by 2 angels and they take human form. It freaks him out. I'm surprised to see angels so soon in this season and stuff. Because, we've heard so much about them and we got a glimpse of them in the last season, but that was about it. And they tell him, with that knife he has, he needs to take it to Lord Azrael because Lord Azrael needs that for his battle and stuff. And so, like, they do tell the story of one angel that's good and another one that's evil and all this other stuff when Lord Azrael was talking. Now, remember the creator of all this is, he's all about, like, he's atheist, so I'm not really sure exactly who he was talking about. Maybe Lucifer, maybe not. Like I said, it's so confusing to me. But Will wants nothing to do with the angels, and he's not giving up the knife. And so he just keeps hopping dimension, and they keep following him and stuff. And I think he asked them, how are you able to travel through dimensions without the knife? And I think they said they used the dust to travel through dimensions. And so he's a little confused. Now, he has Laura's alethiometer and stuff, but he is unable to use it. And he tells them, the knife is like a part of him, and just like the alethiometer is a part of like Laura, and he's not giving it up. But then he's confused as to how they're able to track him and stuff. I forget exactly how they're able to track him, but he's all like, well, you able to track me, then you should be able to track like Laura and everything. So he gives them the alethiometer, and then one of them uses it to like, scan and see where she's at. And so I think they say she is in the land of talking animals and stuff. So, he travels to that world. But it's weird. That girl didn't have a demon, unless she had like a bug demon or something. And so, like, he travels to that world with one of the angels. They part. It seems that both of them are like lovers and stuff. And so one angel wants to help find Laura, while the other one does not. They just want to the other one just wants to get on his mission. And so when they travel to like, Laura's world and everything, I didn't didn't know Will had the alethiometer. It's been a good while since I've seen season 2. But what's even more confusing is that, like, when he gets to the other world, he sees the bear that Laura befriended in season 1, that king and everything. And he's mad and attacking the townspeople because they've captured a bear. And he wants that bear free. Will somehow knows who this bear is, and it's all like, oh, it's a friend of Laura's, but he's never met that bear. Maybe she told him about it and he just remembered. And so, like, he tells the bear, like, I'll fight you in hand-to-hand combat, and if I win, you have to do what I say and leave these people alone and all this other stuff. And so the bear agrees, but then Will tricks this bear. So he must have talked to Laura about these bears and know that they easily tricked. And so, like, he tells him, take off a piece of your armor because you're at an advantage and I'm not. So if he takes off his helmet, and he tells him this is like one of the strongest metals in your world, right? And so he takes his knife and he just slices through the helmet at ease, and it rips apart. And the bear is kind of like, well, crap, dude. He's all like, I can't fight that. So since Will won, they go and they start talking. And he's all like, you must be a friend of Laura's and everything. And so now they're going to go look for him. So now they get like on like a steamboat and everything. And, it's kind of funny how he tricked that dude. I'm like, how in the world is he going to fight him? He doesn't want to hurt him or nothing like that. And so the Magisterium, the head cardinal dude, he recruits somebody. And he wants him to find Laura. Because he's all like, Laura is Eve and she will, be tricked by the serpent and everything and betray us and stuff like that. And he says she's Eve, mother to us all and all this other stuff. And so the cardinal, he uses those little spy drone, I thought it was a thing called spy flies, to like, sniff out Laura, because they realize she must be with Marissa. And, they've just had it with like Marissa and stuff. And so I haven't seen the second episode yet. So far, this episode, it wasn't really that thrilling. Like, it was interesting and everything. And it was cool to see more of Lord Asriel, because we never really seen him other than that butt-headed move he made in season 1. And it's cool to see how, like, die hard, like, Will is to, like, find Laura. Now, what's a little confusing is that he didn't get a demon when he went to that world. But he does indeed have one. And in fact, he has met it at the end of season 1 at some point. And a little bit in season 2. He just doesn't know it yet. And so, like, all in all, I think this was like an interesting episode. Laura keeps having that dream of her in that other like dimensional world, and Roger's there, and so and of course it's weird because he is technically dead, but just because you're dead doesn't mean you can't fight in a big battle. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.